What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Too Pop to Handle. I hope everybody is having a fabulous week as always. My week it's been off to a pretty good start. I can't complain. I had a wonderful little weekend. It was very low key, which is not common for New York in December. I feel like every single weekend, I mean, not just New York, but like every single weekend in December is usually booked and busy. And somehow this first weekend was not, which was gorgeous. And it was nice to kind of ease into the holiday month without having to like run from Friendsgiving to Christmas thing to Secret Santa to this to that. So very fun weekend. I obviously saw the Beyonce movie, which we will get into a full breakdown later in the show, but saw the Beyonce movie on Saturday, and then we went to Miracle on Ninth Street, which is like a holiday bar in the city. It's really hard to get a reservation for, so I booked it back in like October. There were people like lined up outside, and they were like, "How did you get this reservation? How are you going in?" And I was like, "Well, you know, when you're that girl and you book it early." No, it was funny because a lot of the people outside were actually not from New York, so I felt bad if they traveled to come to the bar, but like, I mean, come on, like it's 2023, do your research. It's not that hard to find a Resi page, but I digress. If you have the chance to go, they do miracle pop-ups all over. They do them all over the place. So it's just like a holiday bar. They take over a bar for the month and they just go all out. And it was like the tackiest Christmas vomit you could ever imagine. And it was like everything you could want in a holiday bar. It's only cocktails. So we had the Rudolph's replacement, which is like a chai, kind of like an espresso martini, but a chai tea martini. It was delicious, and it came in this like dinosaur mug thing. It was really funny. And then the Cosmopolitan, which was pretty much just a Cosmo, but make it festive. And the drinks were drinking, like they were definitely strong, and it was fun. But just a heads up, they do not serve food. All they serve is popcorn and Chex Mix or something like that. So definitely eat before you go, or like have plans for dinner before or after, because the drinks will sneak up on you. But 10 out of 10. And I'm just like in full swing holiday mode now. As you know, our Christmas tree has been up. We are in the holiday spirit, and yeah, it's just like full swing. I mean, let alone the fact that like Christmas in New York is just always so fun. There's like certain content that just starts to come out in the holiday season, and I need to just like talk about my obsession with some of my TikTok and YouTube things going on right now. I Prefacing this, I am not somebody who wants kids. Maybe that'll change one day. As of right now, not in the cards for me. I have so many cousins, and you know, my best friends all have kids, and we have our nephews and everything. So like I'm cool with being like the fun gunkle. But the elf on the shelf TikToks, I will watch anybody make a creative setup for their elf every single morning. It is so entertaining to see how creative these parents are getting. Like, I saw one this morning and they literally tied a string from wall to wall and put a toilet paper roll. So it was like a, what is that called? You know, the thing you slide on. Oh my gosh, why can't I think of it? A zip line. It was like a zip line from wall to wall and it went across the tree. I saw one, they drew on the mirror with like white erase markers, and they drew like an elf. So when you looked in the mirror, you had like the hat and the beard and everything. And it's so fun and creative, and just, we only get the content for 1 month of the year. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna eat it up. I know people are like, oh, it's so this, so that. I love it, and I will watch every single Elf on the Shelf video, even if it could be the snowman trick with the water with all the little things in it and it's melted. It could be the toilet paper, like it could be things that I've seen so many times. I'm gonna watch every single one. I want the kids' reactions. I want to see the behind the scenes. Like, I am full in on Elf on the Shelf. Absolutely love it. The next piece of content that I've been obsessed with that is holiday related, Grinch TikToks in two different realms. So there's obviously in Universal Studios, they have like the Grinch Whoville, Dr. Seuss world, and they have the Grinch there who just, I don't know. There's definitely different actors who do it. All of them are just so fantastic. I don't know how they find these people who perfectly embody Jim Carrey's The Grinch, which again is like one of the best holiday movies of all time. But they are so quick. They are hilarious. It is the makeup. I can't imagine how long it takes for them to get into costume, and the setup that they have for him for you to go to the meet and greet. Like, people wait hours for this meet and greet. So obviously if you're waiting that long, it better be worth it. And every single video is better than the next. He gets like onions. Oh my gosh, there's one going viral right now. And it's like a mom holding her newborn or like a baby. I don't know. Again, I don't want kids. So like, I can't correlate ages with size. I'm like, you could show me like a 6-month old. I'm like, oh my God, they're 3. Like, I don't know. Like they were holding a baby and it was like, ugh, disgusting. And it was like trying to make it cry. And then it started crying. It was like, nailed it. I was on the floor. It's so good. And then on the other hand, for Grinch talk, I guess we can call it, when they have their family members dress up as the Grinch and come in and like steal the presents, it's so good. I could literally watch them for hours. And the kid, there's the one where the kid is literally like beating the hell out of the Grinch. It's so much fun. I love it. But I think what takes the cake in terms of holiday TikTok trends. This is like pops up around Thanksgiving, but it really does go till Christmas, I feel like, is the trend. It's so morbid. It's not funny to laugh at, but it's so funny where you record your parent or your aunt or somebody and you're like, oh my God, so and so died, like their favorite celebrity, and getting their reactions to it. I mean, is it wrong to laugh at somebody's traumatic response? 100%. But am I gonna do it every time? 100%. So like whatever. Obsessed. And there's just like it's certain trends like that that only come up really around the holidays. So I'm living for it. I'm obsessed. Please keep them coming. If you see any funny ones, send them to me because I will watch every single one of them at least 3 times. They are Elf on the Shelf, Grinch, and celebrity dying jokes. They're hilarious. I love them. That being said, another content piece that I'm obsessed with is just Vlogmas in general. If you don't know what Vlogmas is, it's where you vlog every single day in the month of December, which sounds like absolute hell to have to record every single day and edit it that night, get it up the next day. I don't know how you girlies do it. I eat it up. Every year I've been watching, I'm a big YouTube person. If you don't know me, I watch so many different creators on YouTube. I have been a YouTube like fanatic since I can remember, and I will watch Vlogmas until the cows come home. It is like my favorite thing in December to come home at the end of the night, do my errands, go to the gym, cook dinner, eat, clean, sit on the couch, and just see what these girlies did the day before. I love it. I'm watching Remy's Vlogmas right now. I'm watching Alicia, Ollie, Lord DIY. Who else? Oh, Tara Michelle. She's doing like a different form of Vlogmas where it's like she just vlogs a couple days, then posts it, which fine by me. Who else? Oh, TK, who is doing it on TikTok this year. I don't know. I just love Vlogmas. And if you are watching anyone who's doing it, let me know, send it over to me because I am always looking for new creators. I love to watch vlogs. It's like my favorite kind of content. I could literally watch somebody grocery shop at Trader Joe's and do a Target haul every single day and not get tired of it. So send them my way because I will happily watch any Vlogmas content. I'm eating it up. So those are some things that I'm loving right now. Just holiday centric. It's just like, it's crazy. We're getting so close to Christmas, so close to New Year's. New Year's Eve is my favorite day of the year. Don't really know why. Just, I love, it's so cliche, but like, I love the feeling of like, it's the last day of the year. You're like reflecting on the year. You're looking forward to the year. And then you like celebrate and have a blast that night. I love New Year's Eve. So that's coming up. Super stoked for that. I don't have any plans yet. Last year we got tickets like an open bar to our favorite bar and it was a blast. So we might do that again if they do it. That was a lot of fun. It was nice to not have to like hop around. I feel like Halloween weekend, hop around, do your thing. New Year's Eve, absolutely not. New Year's Eve in the city, at least in Manhattan, you got to stay at one place. You got to either stay at a house, stay at one bar. There's no hopping around. So finding out what we're doing, don't really know yet, but I'm sure it'll be fun. I love New Year's Eve. We're coming up on Christmas. I have no idea what I want for Christmas. Thomas keeps asking me and I'm like, I don't know. Like, what do you ask for? You know what I mean? Like, I just buy everything I want, which I'm grateful that I can do. But I'm like, no, I don't know. I'm like putting together different things. So if you have any like gift ideas, like you're feeling for yourself that you think a girl like me would love, send them my way as well because I am scraping the bottom of the barrel thinking of gift ideas. So, but yeah, that's kind of like our housekeeping, just some little tidbits I wanted to chat about before we hopped in. Like I said, obviously we have the Beyoncé movie to talk about, which is plentiful, but a lot more has happened since last week. So I think the best way, let's just dive right in and get this show on the road. So Beyoncé, mother, queen, artist of our generation. Ugh, my God. So the Renaissance film is here. It is out. It is everything. I'm obsessed. Like I said last week, I did go to the Renaissance tour, but there's something about reliving a tour in a movie that just gives it that extra, like, you get to take in so much more. I feel like when you're there in the moment, you are so enthralled and excited and just like, oh my God, I'm at this tour, especially the Renaissance tour. It was like the tour of our lifetime. So to be now being able to see it again and like seeing all the details and catching everything and seeing the behind the scenes, The film was fantastic. I'm going to go through like my favorite parts in a bit, but there's some other pieces leading up to it before I actually got to the movie. So we had the Renaissance premiere in London. As we predicted, Taylor Swift was there. She walked the carpet. It's just like, it's so incredible to see two artists supporting each other so continuously through their, not just like right now, but like through their careers, really. There's so many artists, and I hate to name names, but like Nicki and Cardi, back in the day, Christina and Britney, NSYNC and Backstreet Boys, where it was like they were pitted against each other and they like didn't really like show like, hey, no, like we're good, we're friends. Like they just kind of ran with it. But Beyonce and Taylor have the two highest grossing tours of the summer, huge movies, huge albums, crazy fan bases. Like they are literally like, and I hate to say like competing, but they are like, if there's two artists to look at right now for like who's on top, it's the two of them. And the fact that they are so supportive of each other and they have been for years. I mean, Beyonce was literally the cause of Kanye interrupting the VMA speech. Like, not that she caused him to do it, but like it was because of Single Ladies. And then for Beyonce to call Taylor up on stage. I mean, Beyonce went to Taylor's birthday party in 2014 at her apartment, which is like obviously a huge celebrity showing. I feel like everybody remembers where they were when those Polaroids went up. And I mean, there's the Grammy photos of them. They've always like been friendly, whether they've shown it or expressed it. Like they always come around for each other. So to see them continuously supporting each other, it's so nice. And I love them. I'm so happy that I like stand two artists who are mature in that sense. And like, despite what happens online with fan bases, the two of them, they've got each other's back. So Taylor did show up. She met fans on the carpet, which obviously is like unheard of for Taylor, but it was cool to see her, meeting all the Beehive, and then also seeing Tree Payne and Yvette together, their publicists. I was like, there's so much power on this carpet right now. Like, they know everything, the two of them. Beyonce and Taylor Swift, sure, they are fantastic. They are so talented. They are this, they are that. Yvette and Tree being their publicist, like the things that those two women must know, I'd be terrified to like know what is in their mind because they are like the brains behind so much of it. Some queens meeting up to maximize their joint slay. We love that. Blue Ivy walked the carpet with Beyonce, which I mean, Blue Ivy was the star of the movie, her whole little bit. Oh, I mean, she's our niece. How can we not love her? It's Blue Ivy. So premiere was fabulous. It's just so fun to like see all these artists and fans show up and show out and do the whole thing for a movie of a tour that like we've all seen it on TikTok. It's not like it's a new movie. It's a thing that we've all seen either in person, online, or both. Like you couldn't escape the Renaissance tour this summer. So to see so many people still showing up to go, even if they attended it in person, it's just such like being a fan is so much fun. I love it. Like I don't understand people who don't have the fangirl gene. I mean, they're normal, but like having the fangirl gene, it's just so much fun to like show out and show up for your favorite artists. I just love it. Things like this just make me so happy. Moving on, Beyonce, she's been feeding us this past week, thank God. There were rumors that there was a new song at the end of the credits. Some people said it was true, some people said it wasn't, and then boom, Friday morning, My House drops. It is so good. I'm obsessed with it. It is such a different sound, such a different vibe. There's so many different sounds within the song itself. I just love it. It was everybody in the theater after we were dancing. We all stayed for the whole credits to listen to it. I've had it on repeat. I'm loving it. It's so much fun. So she dropped the song. Boom. We kind of knew that was coming. Now she's on the cover of Paper magazine, which she didn't do like a full shoot necessarily for. It was like photos from the tour. But for Beyonce to be on the cover of a magazine and like the crew and everyone to be giving interviews and getting like a feature in it, it's a big deal. Like Beyonce doesn't do this. Like that's not, you know what I mean? She's not a celebrity like that. So that was nuts. So I was like, oh my God, she is fully going full-fledged for this. Like, and I was here for it. Please give us all the press, give us all the promo. Even just thinking like Renaissance, the first Beyonce album since 4 that we knew really was coming. It wasn't just a surprise drop. We had self-titled, which was the collapse of all collapses. I mean, literally changed the music industry and just blacked out iTunes and insane. Lemonade, it was a HBO thing coming, so no one really knew if it was going to be an album or just a movie or a documentary. It ended up being the full album, which, I mean, obviously Lemonade is chef's kiss. We did know that Black is King was coming out because obviously it was like in tandem with the Lion King remake. So we knew that was coming, but again, that was kind of like inspired by the music of the Lion King. So it obviously, this is like a controversial take in the Beehive. It is a Beyonce album, don't get me wrong, but it isn't like necessarily a Beyonce album where she put it out with her own intent behind it, I guess. It was like kind of in tandem with it. Please don't come for me. I love the album. I was listening to it the whole time it was out, unlike some of these people who are hopping on the parade now that it was on tour. That being said, this is the first Beyonce standalone solo album in years that we knew was coming out. So for her to be doing, she did. We got a single from it beforehand. All those photo shoots she did for it. Like it was just such a fun, different era. And I don't know, we're just so lucky to be alive at the same time as Beyonce. So now hopping into the actual movie itself. I mean, come on. It was start to finish fantastic. 3 hours long, and it felt like I blinked and it was over. Like I could have sat there for 3 more hours and been so content. Like I said last week, I was so excited to see the documentary kind of side of it and see, the behind the scenes of her building the stage and her figuring out what lights she wanted. And her mind is so insanely, I don't even know the word. Her mind is so in depth, and like she has so many creative factors that go into everything she does. So to see her sitting there and being like, nope, turn that light off, change that light, flip this around, do that. There's the one scene. Oh, these are spoilers, by the way. So if you haven't seen it yet and you plan to, I mean, there's not really anything too crazy, but just, heads up. When she was like, oh, is there any way we can go a little bit wider on that camera lens? And the team is like, sorry, like that's the biggest we can get. And she sits there, looks this man dead in the face and is like, I actually just looked it up and I can find a 30-foot wide camera if I needed to. I would have quit. I would have walked out. Can you imagine looking Beyonce in the face and being like, yeah, sorry, like that doesn't exist. I can't find it. And her pulling up Amazon and being like, here it is. Right here. I have it. 2-day delivery. Like, girl. I mean, she didn't do that, but you know what I mean? It would have been my last day on the job. I was gagged. She's like the hardest working person in the industry. So for her to conceptualize something and want something, like she's gonna get it. She doesn't care. She said she was like, I worked 44 days straight and didn't have a day off. And it wasn't just her like sitting there like watching things. Like you can see her. She is rehearsing, she is dancing, she has a busted knee and she's out there like doing her thing. It's just her work ethic is unmatched, her mind is unmatched. And we have Miss Blue Ivy, which to see Blue be so excited to perform and then her finding out that she saw the comments online from a friend. First of all, what friend? Who is showing Blue Ivy the comments online? I wanted to know. I was like, is it Northwest? Is Northwest sending her TikToks or something? Because like who is telling Blue Ivy people are talking shit about her online? Because I will fight with them. Don't come for my niece. Mm-mm. No, 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 no. That being said, Blue saw the comments. She came back stronger than ever, which I loved. And just like her dad said in the movie, Beyonce's dad, she was like, she's is a Knowles. Like she literally like some people tried to like put her down and say she couldn't do it. And she came right back and killed it even better than she did before. So just love that. It was cool to see her like she's 11 now, so she's becoming like a person. So to see her like giving her opinions and takes on stuff. Oh my God, when she was like, you can't cut Diva, Beyonce's like, Blue, you need to calm down. And then it cuts her right to Diva being played. Like, she is literally Beyonce's creative director. It's insane. It's incredible. I love it. But yeah, just the whole movie, I loved it. And then she had the technical difficulty during Alien Superstar. I forgot what show it was at, but it was like obviously all over Twitter immediately. Because Beyonce like doesn't make mistakes, and the whole set like went out. And for her to go backstage, be like, get it back on. I have 3 minutes. Let's do an outfit change. Like, who thinks of that? All the power goes out at your show, and you're like, okay, get it back and running. Do what you got to do. I'm gonna go put on a different outfit so I can come back out and gag these people in a whole new outfit for the performance. Like, she's just that girl. She is literally that girl. Ah, I love her. All the dancers, everything, just it was all so incredible. Seeing Amari, who is her dance captain, be there for Blue and like she's giving her these tips, and Beyonce even said like she really took her under her wing, and to see her creative process and how she was so like she didn't just like be like, oh, you're doing great, Blue, like because you're Blue Ivy. No, she was like, hey, like do this, do that. And when you did this, it was great. You could work on this, do that. So it's cool to see that just because she is Beyonce's daughter, she's not just getting like the pass, which she totally could, but they're working her. They're making sure she's like doing things professionally in the right way. So again, I can't get enough. I'm obsessed. Everything about it is just, ugh, so good. But it does lead me to one thing that I need to pick a bone with Parkwood, Beyonce, whoever it is online that I need to talk to. Where's the live album? You dropped this whole movie and there's going to be no live album. Even Homecoming has a live album. Come on. I need a live album. I'm hoping maybe if they put it on streaming, it'll drop it like streaming and streaming the album. Like maybe she didn't want to put everything out at once to kind of give my house its time. So I don't think we're not getting a live album, but I need it. Where is it? Give it to me now because I'm ready. Like to hear the transitions and everything. Ugh. Ugh. I need it. If you haven't seen the movie yet, go see it. I don't know how long it's in theaters. They do a gap, so it's only in theaters on the weekends, I believe. It's like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then it's not Monday through Wednesday, which I'm not really sure why. I'm sure there's a reasoning, but I don't know how long it's going to be in theaters. So get your tickets. Go see it. 10 out of 10. Beyonce, you're everything. Moving on, still some Beyonce news. So Forbes has released their list of the most powerful women of 2023 and specifically media and entertainment. Number one, Taylor Swift. Number two, Oprah Winfrey. Number three, Beyonce. Number four, Shari Redstone, who is the non-executive chairwoman of Paramount Global, and Dana Walden, who is the co-chair of Disney. So, not gonna lie, didn't know who Shari and Dana were before this list came out, but they are clearly women in STEM. Like they are clearly bad bitches, so power to them. This list though, like Taylor Swift, Oprah, Beyonce, they really are like, I think we can change Mount Rushmore and put Taylor Swift, Oprah, Beyonce on it. Seeing this list, I was like, they really are. They are so powerful. And I was interested to see because now we also have Times People of the Year or Person of the Year coming out. And I'm curious, like Taylor's a finalist, so is she gonna top the Forbes list and the Time list? I'm very curious. I think having like this list, Taylor Swift, Oprah, and Beyonce as the top three, like, yes. Rihanna was in the top 10. I want to say she was number 9 and number 10. Love that. And everybody else, it was all like executives within the media industry. So like give them their flowers where they're deserved. Something about me that I want to get better at in the new year. Here's like a resolution. Let's do it. I want to become more aware of the people behind the scenes on things. I feel like there's some people who are so, they know, the producers, they know the writers, they know this, they know that. I want to know like I want to be better about that. So this is me kind of like putting that out there that I'm going to pay more attention to like who makes the decisions at these companies and who is, the big wig behind the Disney Plus rollout or whatever it may be. But yeah, I just wanted to, give a shout out to Taylor, Oprah, Beyonce, most powerful women in media and entertainment of the year. And I just wanted to, touch on it, give shout outs where they are due. And of course, we are not done talking about Taylor Swift. First and foremost, Jack Antonoff. You knew what you were doing last week when you released that story. When you posted that story and said, we wrote You're Losing Me in 2021, you knew you were opening the floodgates. And then you just went offline. You literally lit a match, threw it into like a gas station, and ran. You are a sick man for that. But thank you for this little tidbit because it sent me into a spiral. Finding out, okay, so some backstory. You're Losing Me was clearly like a Midnight's cut from the album that wasn't released when the album came out, but then it was released actually at my second era show that I went to. So it was MetLife Night 1. It was released at the show only on a CD. It was like I don't know, it was like the Midnight's Deluxe, 12:30, 3 p.m., whatever. Good Miss Girl and her clocks. That's a whole other story. But, whatever. Taylor gets named Spotify Artist of the Year. She releases it on streaming. Jack drops this bomb. So we learned, or we can assume a lot of things from this one story. For You're Losing Me to be written in 2021 means that her and Joe were clearly going through it in 2021. Okay? December 2021. That's important. So let's backtrack. Folklore and Evermore, Joe was a writer on. He, was involved with it. Sure, 2020 passes, 2020 goes. 2021, a little bit rocky. Whatever, relationships happen. She writes You're Losing Me. I think that they split. I think they fully broke up for a few months. She wrote You're Losing Me either right before they broke up or maybe like while they were breaking up, and then they split for a few months. The reason I can say this is because my friend Delaney, hi if you're listening, Delaney went through Joe's Instagram and saw that Taylor stopped liking posts for like 6 months. And then she started again in like the summer of 2022. So that means they got back together right before, a few months before at least, she announced Midnights, because that was in August at the VMAs for it to come out in October. So my mind is thinking You're Losing Me was on the album. Because again, Midnights isn't necessarily an album from a time period in her life. It is various different midnights, late nights that she'd had throughout her career, her life, and put into one album. That being said, I Think You're Losing Me was supposed to be on the original album. She cut it because her and Joe got back together. She announces and releases the album while they're back together. Then they break up, and now she releases it as, now that they're broken up. Crazy. We don't get this kind of info really about Taylor. And again, this is all just me speculating and like me and my friends being absolutely insane, piecing together what we can. But the math is mathing, and like I'm sure Jack sent that post to Taylor before he posted it for her to be like, yep, go ahead. They were just opening the floodgates. That being said, the floodgates opening that night then led to either the next morning or the day before, where one thing about Taylor Swift and her team is they don't respond to things. The last time Taylor's publicist Tree has called somebody out for like drama or whatever was Kim Kardashian in 2020. Now, last week, she decided to screenshot Dumois' post saying that Taylor had been engaged, and Dumois was like, I will go to my grave saying this. I know for a fact. She was like gun ho set on it. Tree, mind you, this was the day after the Renaissance premiere. So they like went to the premiere, did their thing, got back on a plane, left, and then dropped this bomb. It was like a lot going on. It was literally Jack saying about You're Losing Me, the Renaissance premiere, Tree fighting Dumois in 3 days in a row. It was like a lot going on last week. And Tree posts essentially being like, your false claims are harmful to the people you're posting about. You need to stop lying. Like, you've been warned, da da da. I don't know what happened and like what Dumois is referring to, the ceremony that she swears happened. She has all this inside information about it. I feel like we have to take Dumois with a grain of salt. Maybe it used to be more reliable, but she had like 2 million followers, but now it gets a little skeptical. And she's very like clear about like, hey, like everything I post is like not 100% accurate. But this, she was so set on like, no, I'm going to my grave with the fact that Joe and Taylor were married. And for Tree to make a comment, I'm like, what does Dumois know? Or what happened? Like, it was nuts. And I don't know if it's something now like with Taylor and Travis. I don't know what the deal is, but for Tree to like go online and literally like have to tweet about it while she just left the red carpet with Beyoncé, some shit went down, and I'm very curious. Nothing's come of it since. Dumois like said like sorry, I think like sorry to upset you or something, like it was a bullshit response. But I'm curious if like a lawsuit's gonna come. I want to know if like Dumois is gonna post anything more about this ever again. She held like a subscriber only live stream or something. I don't know. I could care. I'm not subscribing to it, but nothing came out after. I feel like if there was something to be noted, it would have came out. I don't really know what she said on that. If anyone does know, feel free to like shoot me a DM and let me know. I would love to find out some more info there, but the fact that nobody really posted about it kind of just makes me think that like Dumois was just trying to protect her image and be like, this is what I think, this is what I want to believe. I don't know, just like crazy. Anyone in the Taylor fandom knows like for Tree to make a statement, it's a big deal. So that was gaggy to wake up to. I'm moving on. The Variety Hitmakers brunch happened over the weekend, and a lot of stories came out of it. So the biggest one being Billie Eilish essentially like being outed or coming out on the carpet, which it is 2023. In what year are we finally not going to have to come out anymore? Do you know what I'm saying? When is it just going to be like normalized to not have to come out? Second of all, you could tell how uncomfortable Billy was like, oh yeah, I didn't realize I was coming out in that interview and now you're bringing it up on the red carpet. And even in her post about it, she was like, thanks for outing me again, Variety, but go stream What Was I Made For? She's clearly like not entertaining it and not like really diving too much into it. She's not someone who really responds crazy like that. I would even surprised she honestly posted about it to begin with. But then I saw she lost hundreds of thousands of followers. I mean, come on. Are we really that surprised that Billie Eilish is bisexual? And that's not me assuming somebody's sexuality. Like she even said, she like, isn't it kind of obvious? She's very I mean, I don't know, something about her just always gave us the vibe that like she was one of us. And great, come on over, girl, Red Rover, come on over to the rainbow side. Like, who gives a fuck? So the fact that like A, she was quote unquote outed, and B, had to make a statement about it just kind of sucks, especially when you're at like this big event celebrating your career and other artists there, for that to be what comes up on the red carpet. I don't know, that interviewer, like, I would kind of hate to be that interviewer. I would kind of go into hiding for a bit because like, come on. That's what you're asking. That's what you're talking about. Not the fact that Billie just had a song in the biggest biggest movie of the year, not the fact that Billie has some of the most Grammy nominations this year after not releasing an album. You're going to talk about her sexuality? Come on. It's 2023. I think it's time to wrap that shit up. Moving on, more red carpet things. Sabrina Carpenter. So they asked her, they were like, oh, so how do you feel about upsetting the Catholic Church? And she goes, gotta go, and like ran away, which just like at the end of the day, you have to remember she is a Disney Channel X act now. Like she is trained just like the rest of the Disney girls. So if there's something that she was told not to talk about, she's not giving any no inkling of what her opinion is. She let out her statement, Jesus was a carpenter, she did her thing, and they are clearly dropping it. It is not to be spoken about, and I just thought her reaction was so funny. Leave her alone. She released, if there was that big of an issue, they wouldn't have released the video to begin with. So again, some of these interviewers on these carpets just like use a portion, a little, use a fraction of your brain and be like, maybe let's not talk about certain things. Let's uplift these artists and celebrate things they're doing. But that's just me. On the topic of Sabrina Carpenter, there was this photo going around, and I literally showed it to Thomas, and he was like, there's no way that's real. And I was like, no, I think it's real. Granted, we were at the bar when this happened, so I was a little tipsy, but there was a Photoshop picture of Sabrina Carpenter and Olivia Rodrigo, which obviously would have been like the gag of all gags. And it was unfortunately Photoshopped. It was actually a picture of her and Phoebe Bridgers. Ugh, I would have loved to have a photo of Olivia and Sabrina together. Their beef is squashed. I'm pretty sure they're both cool. They're fun. They're on the Jingle Ball tour together, which if anyone knows anyone who has like a connect at Jingle Ball Z100 iHeartRadio and can get me into Jingle Ball this weekend, please let me know. Just like shoot me a DM, whatever you want. We'll figure it out. I'm not paying $200 just to behind the stage, and I cannot find any other tickets. So if you know a guy, have your people call my people. My people being my DMs, because I'm the only one who works on the Too Pop to Handle team. But that being said, yeah, I was really sad. I wanted that to be a real photo, but it wasn't. So it is what it is. And then on my notes that I have about Friday Hitmakers, all I have in caps is SZA. She just looked gorgeous. She gave her speech. She was honored at the awards. And I mean, if anyone's making hits, it is SZA. So I could talk about SZA for hours. I really could. I think she's one of the best artists of our generation. I've said that before on the podcast. That's nothing new. And another artist who was going to be at Jingle Ball this weekend. So again, if you know a guy, hit me up. Let me know, and I make some things work. Now, this next thing I want to talk about, I wasn't ever in my life expecting to talk about David Archuleta. But like I learned from Ned's Declassified's podcast, never say never. You never know who you're going to talk about. But he, in the past like year or two, I want to say, has come out again. Can we just stop having to come out? Like, maybe it's just me being gay and like obviously on the right side of history. Like I'm like, people can be gay and not have to come out. Like it's fine. But I mean, I guess when you're in the public eye and people speculate it, sure. So he came out like 2 years ago, but this past week he posted a video, and I'm living for this like new second like look on life he's having. It looked like he was like in like a hotel room, a hotel hallway, like leaving somebody's room. His hair was a mess, and he had on his neck, he was like, shout out to the girl who told me to get green, like a green color stick, and then foundation to cover up on my neck, showing his hickey. I was like, not David Archuleta like getting turned out. I was like, boy, I was gagged. I was like, oh my God, he's just like fully going for it, but I'm here for it. You know what? He obviously like had a whole American Idol thing. He did whatever. And then he kind of, I think he had like a religious affiliation for a bit, not in like a negative way at all, but like, just, I think he was very like into the church, like how he was raised. So for him to now like be coming out and having this like second renaissance, I guess you could say, of life. I was like, good for you. Like, have your messy era, have your, not even messy, just have like your slut era. Every other gay man's doing it, so good for you. I had to bring it up. I had to bring it up. Also, is he working on music? Is that a thing that's happening? Does he still make music? Crush goes off. Like, that song is so good. I would love to have like a David Archuleta 2.0. Like, let's get this going. Let's get some new music. I feel like he could release some fun, like, maybe not like really gay vibes. I don't know if he'd be full like Troye Sivan, full-fledged gay, but like I feel like he has it in him to do some hits. So like let's get him in the studio. Let's see what he's working on. And if he is working on music, someone let me know, because I honestly didn't look into it too much, but I wouldn't be mad at like a David Archuleta comeback in the music world. Speaking of music and things coming out, huge releases for me, at least in my world, this Friday. Nicki Minaj, Pink Friday 2 is coming out. I mean, maybe is coming out. One thing about Nicki Minaj is she is going to just like either fuck with her fans or completely be unprepared for things. She tweeted, she was like, do you guys really want Pink Friday this Pink Friday 2 on December 8th. Girl, we've been waiting for years for an album. Of course we want it. And then she just posted, she was like, oh, I think I'm adding new songs to the album. And I'm going to add a new song potentially every day starting Monday to the album. Which, like, sure, add extra things, do your thing. But, like, is the album even finished? We don't have a track list. It hasn't leaked. And Nicki Minaj's music notoriously leaks. Her and Dua Lipa both have cybersecurity level 0. And everybody leaks all of their music. So the fact that nothing's leaked from it, there's no track list leak. I'm questioning if the album's done, honestly. Like, I don't know. Sometimes a little weird there that, like, nothing's leaked. There's no track list. No one knows any features. Girl, is the album coming out? Is it done? I'm ready for it whenever it does come out. But assuming it comes out this Friday, I'm very excited for this new Nicki era. I mean, she said that there's a super bass-esque song. She has two other songs on the album that kind of mimic Pink Friday, the original album. So I'm very excited if she's going back to this like Pink Friday era, because I mean, that's like the era of all eras for Nicki when you really think about it. I mean, blew her up was that era. So I'm excited to kind of dip our feet back into this. Very excited. And she better not be playing with us. She better have her ducks in a row. Cause if this album, if I wake up Friday morning and I don't see Pink Friday 2 in my recently added on my Apple Music, there's gonna be an issue. Like I will be taking it to Twitter and making a very long detailed thread. So let's see how that pans out. On the other hand, another album that will definitely be dropping on Friday, Tate McRae, Think Later. So obviously she has just been like killing it with her singles Greedy and X's. Everything she's been teasing has been so fun. So I said it a few weeks ago, but her team is just killing it with the album rollout. Let's talk about album rollouts actually. To see these two albums coming out the same day, I think the Pink Friday album rollout and her album rollout could not be on further sides of the spectrum. She's putting out singles, she's teasing this, she's doing that, and Nicki's like, oh, the album might not be done. Oh, the album might have new songs coming to it every day next week. Like just so opposite end of the spectrum. Let's see what happens. But we do have so much new music to look forward to this Friday, and I cannot wait. Definitely keep an eye on my Instagram stories this weekend. We'll talk about it all next week as well, but just wanted to plant that seed in everybody's head and remind them to stream Pink Friday 2 and Think Later this Friday, because I, for one, am very excited. And just like that, that brings us to the end of the show, which means it is time for our yes and our mess. Our yes this week, I mean, I've talked about her a lot, I feel like, in the past few weeks, and I would love to talk about her every single show if possible. That being said, Kelly Clarkson went through her divorce obviously last year, 2022, I want to say it was, maybe 2021. No, I think it was 2022. So she went through her divorce, which obviously is so sad, but it just came out like her ex-husband is just like not a good person. Just, men are trash. We know that. But then this past week, it turns out that she will be getting $2.6 million from him because of like faulty music deals, I guess. He's like a music producer, a music manager, and he was working with her on her music. And I guess they found something where things weren't adding up, and he now owes her $2.6 million. So I'm like, she is just rolling in it right now. She is like queen of NBC. She has to the Christmas lighting. Her show is obviously killing on NBC. Shout out to the Kelly Clarkson social media team. Oh my God, as somebody who works in social media and as a fan of just pop culture and whatever, the Kelly Clarkson Show social media team is A1. They are the perfect example. Kelly Clarkson and Drew Barrymore, the two of them, they are the perfect example of like killer social media. I don't even know the strategy really behind it, because I think they just honestly have such great content from the hosts and the guests and the audience. It is such like I've been to both the Kelly Clarkson Show and the Drew Barrymore Show, and just being there, it is such like a fun and warm environment. So they really just like take that and run with it on social, and they do such a fantastic job at it. But Kelly really is just like winning one after another. I mean, she just cut her hair at the bangs. The bangs are banging. I'm obsessed. She is dressing better than ever. She's killing it on TV. She's getting a $2.6 million check from her ex-husband. She is just, America's sweetheart. I feel like I've said that like once a week, but I love to see Kelly Clarkson winning. If anybody deserves it, I want nothing but good things for her. So loving that had to be my yes of the week. I mean, come on. Like, we just love to see women winning, and especially when it's Kelly Clarkson, America's sweetheart. Now, on the other hand, George Santos, I hate to even give this piece of shit like a platform and like talk about him to you guys, but things need to be said. So he was expelled from Congress, which we love. Slay, sashay away, diva. Now you got some time to go, do your drag queen bookings. And it was all fun and games. I was like, oh my God, let's go in on these Twitter jokes. I was tweeting, like, it's fun. Then he announces that he's now on Cameo, charging $200 for a video, and people are buying it. So I'm all for the joke, like make the hit tweet, have fun, make the meme, do your thing. To now be putting money in his pocket to make more of a joke out of it, the mess isn't George Santos and like making jokes about it. The mess is the Cameo. Like, to now go online and people are getting him to like make funny videos for people. Let's not gas this man up anymore. Let's not give him more of a platform, give him more money. Let's reel that right back in, because at the end of the day, he is transphobic. Which is crazy because he's gay. Like, he's married to a man. He's been caught in so many lies. He's been used like the his government funding to subscribe to like OnlyFans and things like that. Like, just like not a good person. And to make a tweet is free. You can tweet, you can make jokes, you can make a TikTok, whatever. Putting money in his pocket to make a funny video, I draw the line at. Like, we've got to reel it back in and like be serious for a second. Stop paying George Santos to wish your mom a happy birthday. Stop paying George Santos to make a funny video about Botox. Come on. I saw a tweet today and somebody was like, why don't you take that $200 and go book Nikki Blonsky? And she's actually having a Cameo sale right now. You can get a video from Tracy Turnblad herself, Nikki Blonsky. Should I get it? Should I get a Nikki Blonsky cameo for the podcast of her like shouting out Too Pop to Handle? Oh my God, is that what I should ask for Christmas? Stay tuned. The wheels are turning. But anyway, it's not going to George Santos. If anyone is going to Nikki Blonsky from the movie Hairspray. So just let's cut the George Santos support. And even if it is as a joke and on Cameo and it's only $200, nope. No, I draw the line. I don't think it's funny. I don't think it's cute. I don't think it's like a funny, haha, like fun for a TikTok. No, make a tweet, do something that like talk shit about him. Stop putting money in his pocket. And that's the end of the show. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you're not already, make sure you're following us on socials. We are at 2pop to handle on all platforms: Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube. We are a video podcast, so if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you give us a like, hit that subscribe button, leave us a comment below, let me know what you think. Tell me your yes and your mess of the week. If you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast, leave us a review, send it to a friend. If every single person listening to this sends it to one person, I'll double in listeners. So think about that. Do some quick math and, it's giving season. So, give back and give the gift of 2pop to handle. Seriously, it does mean a lot if you do leave a rating or a review. It helps the podcast a lot. So take 5-10 seconds. You don't even have to write like a full review. I mean, if you want to tell me how like funny I am, go ahead. But even just like leaving 5 stars, huge, huge help. And yeah, I hope everybody has a fabulous rest of the week. I'm sure I will chat with you guys on Instagram, TikTok through the week. But until then, see you guys next week. Bye.